we have built an extraordinary number of underground bases and supposedly transportation systems. Some of these are a record of, some of these are documented as part of the national security infrastructure. I think there are many more. So,
In the United States?
in the United States, on all over the world. But in from 2021 to 2023, I took one of the smartest subscribers in the Solari Report network, and he and I spent 2 years collecting all the data and all the allegations on underground bases. And then we systematically went through and tried to estimate our guess. This is totally a guess of how many underground bases, both underground in the United States, but also underground under the ocean around the United States. And our estimate was 170 with a transportation network connecting them.
And what would be the purpose?
The purpose, if you thought you were going to get a near extinction event, so there, to me, there are two purposes. You have so many activities going on that you need to keep secret, that you're basically building the capacity to, for example, if you're doing a secret space program, you need to platform it from, things that can't be seen. But I think if you're worried about a near extinction event, that's...
So I know nothing about this other than my only window into it. I knew a contractor who worked on one in Washington, in the city of Washington, D.C.
Right.
And I remember him telling me about a power box, like a transformer box on Constitution Avenue that he told me, because he worked on it personally, was actually the exit, the egress from White House. That was kind of by vehicle. I thought that was, I was like, really? He goes, oh, yeah, no, I installed it, I know. And I thought, well, that's kind of crazy that in the middle of this big city where I live, I was on Constitution Avenue every day, that you could build something like that without me knowing it. Under the VP's house at the Naval Observatory, same thing. I think most people know that. Next to my brother's house on Macomb Street in D.C.
So
but that's, I always thought that was like preparation for nuclear war. Like, I didn't really think about it that much.
Some of it is, yeah. It's preparation for catastrophe.
So, but you think that there are facilities like that in other places outside D.C.?
Oh, yeah. So if you're interested, we have a great interview. I did an interview of Richard Dolan on underground bases on the Solari Report, and it's sort of an introduction to the topic, and it's based on a lot of the research of a guy named Richard Souter, who is very hard to interview. So Richard kind of went through all the material. And clearly it's... I don't know if you ever saw, Washington Post did a project, it was in 2010 or 12, called Top Secret America. And one of the reporters, it was a team of 2 reporters, one of them put together a database of all the different top secret installations that had been built in the country, including since the Patriot Act. And what you saw was just this explosion of money in building so many both underground and above ground facilities.
Just as a theological matter, I hate to say this, but I think it's true. If you're building a lot underground, you're on the wrong side. I don't think that's a good sign.
So I'll tell you a very funny...
let's just the obvious first. That's not good.
So I'll tell you a very funny story. So after I left the administration, after I left the Bush administration, I went on the board of Sallie Mae. And I'm on the board of Sallie Mae, and after one of the first meetings, there was a wonderful...
You've been talking about underground bases and colonizing space, and you clearly seem totally sane, but I'm sure some people are like, well, she's obviously crazy. I should have set at the stage at the beginning with your biography, like you're as mainstream, you're on the board of Sallie Mae. Sallie Mae, you're a partner at Dillon Reed. It's like,
right,
you're not just like on the internet. Right. I'm sorry. I just want to say that. This is like a former high-level federal official who's on the board of Sallie Mae and a partner at Dillon Reed. Okay. Just want to say that out loud.
Okay. So I'm on the board, and there was a lovely chairman, a really lovely guy. And he comes up, he says, can I talk to you after the meeting? And I said, sure. And he pulls out this big glossy brochure for the Council on Foreign Relations, and he said, "The time has come for you to join." And he said, "We want you to ask Nick Brady, to sponsor you." And I said to him, "Sam, I just don't want to do this. I really don't want to do this." And he looked shocked and he said, "You don't understand. If you don't do this, you're out forever." And just at that moment, it's these moments when things come to you. I saw in my mind, I'm very pictorial, I saw in my mind a locker in the underground base, and they were taking my name off of the locker. And I thought, if it comes to that, I'll take my chances upstairs with the hoi polloi.
Yeah, me too.
And I said, but it's something, it's at the deepest root, it's a spiritual and cultural question.
I totally agree.
Who's
cowering underground, like in the dark places? No.
And I beheld, when he had opened the sixth seal, and lo, there was a great earthquake, and the sun became black as sackcloth of hair, and the moon became as blood. And the stars of heaven fell unto the earth, even as a fig tree casteth her untimely figs when she is shaken of a mighty wind. And the heaven departed as a scroll when it is rolled together, and every mountain and island were moved out of their places. And the kings of the earth, and the great men, and the rich men, and the chief captains, and the mighty men, and every bondman, and every free man, hid themselves in the dens and in the rocks of the mountains, and said to the mountains and rocks, Fall on us, and hide us from the face of him that sitteth on the throne, and from the wrath of the Lamb. For the great day of his wrath is come, and who shall be able to stand?